During the New York Jets' rough 34-32 loss in the season opener, there were a handful of silver linings, and one of them was the performance of quarterback Justin Fields, who signed with the team this offseason. A very hot start for him to his 2025 campaign for the New York Jets. However, is his success sustainable down the stretch? We'll talk about that and much more, all coming up here on a Monday edition of NY Flight Jets Talk.
This is NY Flight Jets Talk with Connor Long. NY Flight Jets Talk. We're talking Jets. NY Flight Jets Talk with special guests. NY Flight Jets Talk. Here's your host, Connor Long. Jets.
You are listening to NY Flight Jets Talk. Here's your host, Connor Long.
Yes, you are indeed listening to NY Flight Jets Talk, streaming live right here on YouTube and Twitter. How's everyone doing? Welcome into the show. I'm your host, Connor Long, Jets X Factor, NY Flight Jets Talk. It's great to see you guys right here on this Monday evening, September 8th, 2025. Make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe, however and wherever you are consuming this show, because it helps the platform, it helps the brand grow a ton. Again, that smash the like button, hit subscribe. Call-ins, we're being annoying again on YouTube. You guys know, if you've been watching the show, there's been an issue with call-ins. So unfortunately, no call-ins today. I guarantee you there will be some tomorrow, undoubtedly so. But in the meantime, if you guys want to engage with us, if you guys want to get your thoughts heard, and you guys want to dump all your insight from yesterday's game for the Jets in general, you could do so in the comment section, the live chat on YouTube, the live chat on Twitter. Throw all your questions, your comments, your thoughts in there, and we will certainly go through them. Smash the like button and hitting subscribe. That is the free way to support the show. The paid way that helps us grow just as much is getting into our membership raffle that is occurring on September 15th. Every $2 super chat or gift and membership gives you an opportunity to take home a Sauce Gardner signed jersey, a Garrett Wilson signed helmet, a Wayne Corbett signed jersey, a Nick Mangold signed jersey, a CJ Mosley signed jersey, a Bart Scott signed photo, a Don Maynard signed photo, then, of course, the front page of the New York Daily News following the Jets' 1969 Super Bowl victory. That, of course, coming in a frame. Every $2 super chat or gift and membership gives you an entry. Exactly 1 week from today, we will be doing our raffle drawing, and hopefully 1 week from today, we are talking about a Jets win. We are talking about a Jets win, and we're celebrating a Victory Monday. That, of course, would be the Jets' first win of the season. Let's hope that's where we are at this time next week, exactly at this time next week. But in the meantime, we are able to indulge. We are able to reflect upon the Jets' Week 1 season opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers, in which they were 2.5-point home underdogs. And that line was pretty much on point from Vegas. However, the total points is not what everyone expected. A lot of people expected a low-scoring affair with defense carrying the game and punt on offense, 3-and-out after 3-and-out. That wasn't the case. 34-32, the final score, of course, in Pittsburgh's favor. But so many silver linings for the Jets. If you guys want my initial thoughts, you guys want my recap on what happened yesterday, and you didn't see it already, go back on the feed, check out my live post-game show. We did about 30 minutes on the game yesterday, and that will be the case immediately after the final whistle for each and every single football game that the Jets play this season. Hopefully we're talking about some playoff football. Hopefully the Jets are there for the first time in 14 seasons, and they break that drought this year. But nevertheless, like I said, a ton of silver linings, a ton of positives from yesterday's matchup. And the one that headlines that list for me above them all is the man we've spoken about so much this offseason. Some for the positive reasons, some for the negative reasons. Some said he needs to prove it. And for those who said Justin Fields needs to prove himself in New York and he needs to establish himself, yesterday was the best opening day performance you could have asked out of Justin Fields. 16-22 passing, a touchdown, no interceptions, made an impact on the ground as well, 12 carries, 48 yards, and 2 scores with his legs. So a really, really strong opening game for Justin Fields. Look, this is the Justin Fields I knew was in his bag. I knew Justin Fields was able to reach this level. And those who watch the show throughout the offseason know I've been a big believer in Justin Fields. I don't think he is going to be the franchise quarterback in New York, but I think he is more than just a one and done bridge option for this team. And again, those who are on the lower spectrum of things when it comes to expectations for Justin Fields, or those who just wanted Fields to simply prove himself in week one and give this team the best chance to win, you couldn't have asked for anything more out of the 26-year-old yesterday. Truly a great performance. He was making NFL caliber throws. He looked so much more polished than we saw last year with him in Pittsburgh. When you talk about his passing ability, we all know Justin Fields for who he is as a rusher. We all know what he could do with his legs. It's a special talent. It's a special ability. The thing that he's improved in and year out, but still isn't where you want it to be, is his passing ability. And that took yet another step in the right direction yesterday. He was stepping up in the pocket. He was evading pressure. He dodged multiple sacks. And he was making big-time NFL throws, to really put it lightly. And certainly he had the help of the offensive line. This offensive line is going to play such a big role on the Jets, in the Jets 2025 season, and what the outcome is. Truly, Josh Myers at center, I was a little worried how he would hold up in run blocking. He looked absolutely incredible yesterday. Andrew Beck, the fullback, had a block that I pointed out in real time in the red zone that put Breece Hall down at the 1 yard line. And I watched it back on All 22 film today. And Andrew Beck had so many great blocks for this team in the backfield, in the run game, the blocking up front, the protection when Fields was passing the ball, and the run blocking is what really, really caught my eye from an offensive line standpoint. When you talk about the pass catchers in yesterday's game, couldn't have asked for anything more out of them. Garrett Wilson, 7 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Breece Hall got involved, 2 for 38. Tyler Johnson, 2 for 31. Mason Taylor, 1 for 20. Josh Reynolds, 2 for 18. Jeremy Ruckert with a nice contested grab, 2 catches for 16 yards at the end of his day. And most importantly, the Jets established their identity as a ground and pound team. We heard that term thrown around so much this offseason. It kind of just became a light term that doesn't really matter. But no, the Jets truly established an offensive identity yesterday, and how they were pushing the ball on the ground, how far they were getting downfield. 182 rushing yards yesterday compared to Pittsburgh's 53. 212 passing yards yesterday compared to Pittsburgh's 218. 394 total yards of offense compared to Pittsburgh's 271. So the Jets overall outgained Pittsburgh by over 100 yards. The Jets punted, I believe, 1 time the entire game. I'm just going to get that twice. They punted twice throughout the entire game. So 2 punts, didn't punt once in the first half. Keep that in mind. Not a single punt in the first half. And they had possession most of the game. The time of possession was certainly in the Jets' favor yesterday. 34 minutes and 43 seconds. The Jets had the ball in their hands compared to Pittsburgh's 25 minutes and 17 seconds. So we saw an offense with innovative play calling. Tanner Engstrand had an incredible game yesterday in terms of the play calling in his debut as an NFL offensive coordinator. I was super, super happy with what we saw yesterday. Would the win have made it that much better? And would the win have had us talking about playoffs already? Absolutely. But you see the silver linings, you see the positives as to why this team has potential, why this team has upside, and why it's not time to just sign off on this year as a wasted year, flush it down the toilet. You see the glimmers of hope. You see the upside on this football team. There's a lot there. There's a lot to be desired for after what we saw yesterday. And to kind of get to the main point of this video, and I want to engage you guys in, so your questions, your comments, your thoughts, continue to load those up in the live chat. We will get to those. But to the main point of this video, is Justin Fields' success sustainable? The short answer for me to that question is absolutely, but barring injury. Those are the 2 things. Absolutely, because we've seen this Justin Fields before. This Justin Fields got himself MVP votes in 2022. This Justin Fields led a Pittsburgh Steelers team to a 4-2 record over 6 starts as a very efficient passer. I am not ready to sign off on Justin Fields. He could certainly maintain this success, but what a lot of it comes down to is health, and most importantly, the health up front on the offensive line. The Jets' depth is already being tested with the injury to Elijah Vera that happened before the year. Luckily, Josh Myers had a great game at center with Tippmann sliding out to guard, and Tippmann wasn't a liability there either. So you get the positives on both spectrums there. So the Jets' depth is already being tested. John Simpson go down and come back in quickly. This offensive line can't afford any more injury because at this rate, the Jets are an injury away from seeing Xavier Gibson shouldn't even be on this football team to begin with. We're one injury away. We're one snap away from seeing Xavier Newman line up, from seeing a Cole Laval line up, from seeing a Max Mitchell line up as a starter. So the Jets' offensive line depth is already being tested. They got to stay healthy up front. And when you talk about the pass catchers, they got to stay healthy there as well. I think yesterday was a fine indication as to why I don't think it makes sense for the Jets to sell out assets for a wide receiver too. The pass catchers held up just fine. And as you guys see, Justin Fields does not throw the ball 30, 45 times a game. He throws it 20, 25 times a game. But, Garrett Wilson goes down. You're testing your depth there. So assuming that this O-line stays intact, assuming that Garrett Wilson is fully healthy and continues to only elevate his game from here on out, absolutely Justin Fields can maintain this success. This is the Justin Fields that the Chicago Bears saw when they selected him with the 11th overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft. This is the Justin Fields where the ceiling that we've been talking about of him as an efficient passer who can get the ball out quickly, doesn't take sacks, didn't take any sacks yesterday, didn't throw any interceptions. That's the thing that I don't think enough people aren't honing in on. He didn't throw a single interception yesterday. Didn't have one turnover. That's the biggest thing with everyone compares him to Zach Wilson when you talk about pocket passing ability. He didn't throw one interception yesterday. And look, I'm giving a different approach because a lot of the other reporters, except myself, a handful of the other reporters on the Jets, the guys who are on the beat, and just those who cover this team and report on them in general, like myself, a lot of them base their analysis on Fields on what they saw over the summer, what they saw throughout training camp. I didn't put any stock into what I saw to him at training camp. Really didn't. Did he not look great in training camp? Sure. Was he learning a new offensive scheme? Was he building a rapport with his new weapons? Absolutely. Yesterday's performance shows that what he did in training camp really does not mean crap in the grand scheme of things and as the season continues to unfold. So look, you saw the play calling. You saw the innovation yesterday from Tanner Angstrom. It was great to see an unpredictable offense that was innovative, that was mixing plays up, had great play designs. It was great to see Justin Fields push the ball downfield to Garrett Wilson on that touchdown. It just seems like a new, rejuvenated, high-octane offense. It really, really did. Look, could Braylon Allen have played better? Sure, but Breece Hall had over 100 yards on the ground. Like, the Jets were firing on all cylinders offensively yesterday. But the thing is, there are three phases of football, and the Jets only won one of them. That was offense. You could split the defense in half. The defensive line had a great game, sacked Rodgers multiple times, sacked Rodgers 4 times. The linebackers weren't a total liability. Jamie and Sherwood had a few nice plays. Quincy Williams was flying around the field like his hair was on fire. So, look, when you talk about how the Jets win yesterday, the different battles that they lost, the defensive line was great. The linebackers were great. The offense certainly won the offensive battle. And then it is Xavier Gibson fumble. A Xavier Gibson fumble. Really? That was the turning point of yesterday's football game. And as to why we're not talking about playoffs after week 1, right here, right now, after Justin Fields had arguably the best performance of his NFL, one of the best performances of his NFL career. You got to win all 3 phases to win a football game. And the Jets struggled to do that yesterday. Another message I will say to those who are destroyed, depleted after yesterday's loss. Get it, it's demoralizing, sure. But 2 of the other 3 teams in the AFC East also lost yesterday. And if the Jets are playing for first place in the division Sunday, If the Jets win Sunday, they will be first place in the AFC East. I don't think enough people are really understanding that. Guys, the Jets weren't 0-3 entering this game. Look, Buffalo's going to be a tough matchup at home. I'm writing an article on it, though, right now, however. They couldn't stop the run against Baltimore. Could not stop the run whatsoever. Derrick Henry's not Breece Hall. And sure, Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields is not Lamar Jackson. Absolutely. But Buffalo allowed a similar amount of rushing yards as the Pittsburgh did. And Pittsburgh has the best front four in the National Football League, the best defensive tackle in the league, in my opinion, with Cam Hayward. Clearly the best edge rusher in the league with TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith. And the linebackers that they have in Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson. Look, I know it's a tough game against a team like the Buffalo Bills, but the Jets have always pushed the Bills at MetLife no matter what. Aaron Rodgers last year, week 6 of the NFL season. Zach Wilson beat him with Zach Wilson at home. So don't sign off on the season after 1 week, and don't sign off on the season. Don't sign off of next week, against Buffalo, because you came out on the wrong end of a narrow game. Give me a break. Give me a break. And I want to go back to the offensive line because that was the biggest thing for me yesterday. That was my biggest takeaway. You don't notice it when you're watching the game. Some might, but you don't notice it on the it doesn't come up on the stat sheet. It's not, the flashy name, but like, did we ever see Justin Fields running for his life sure, a couple times, and he got the ball out and made plays with them, made plays with those opportunities. But did we see Justin Fields running 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage and having to run for his life play after play? Look, the offensive line is not the sexy aspect of the game, but it elevates the entire offense. Really does. There's a reason that since 2010, teams who have ranked pretty much the top 10 of offensive line, I think only 2 of which haven't made the playoffs. It elevates the entire offense, especially on a team that's supposed to be predicated on their defensive play. They need a strong offensive line to kind of maintain that continuity on the offense. So, look, I know it's disappointing, Jet fans. I feel your pain, and I'm disappointed myself, undoubtedly so. I'm definitely disappointed with the outcome of yesterday's game, but I don't think it's as bad as most people are making it out to be. The season's over, Jet fans. The season's over. Blah, 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 blah. The Jets lost. Same old Jets. I don't think it's anything like the same old Jets, actually. And, you guys know I said about Aaron Glenn all offseason long. He needs to prove it. He needs to prove it. He needs to prove it. I saw a different offense yesterday. I saw kind of a rejuvenated culture when you talk about Aaron Glenn galvanizing this locker room and these guys being excited to go out there and play. Sure. Did they still allow a ton of penalties? Absolutely. Were some of them stupid? Sure. I'm all for John Simpson defending his quarterback. Do you want to avoid a penalty? Sure. Could you do that without maybe, giving your opposing team 15 yards? Absolutely. Certainly. But I like the grit. I like the fight. And I like the toughness overall from this Jets team. Those were my biggest takeaways from yesterday, and to kind of answer the question that I made the title of today's show predicated on, yes, Justin Fields can certainly maintain this success, but it all hinges on the health of Garrett Wilson, and it all hinges on the health of this offensive line. We appreciate you all joining us right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. However, and wherever you are listening to us, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe on your way into the building. It is completely free, and it helps us grow a ton. Questions, comments, thoughts, load all of those up in the chat. We are going to continue to get to those. We appreciate your support as always. I'm Jets X Factors Connor Long, right here with you guys on the show. And boy, oh boy, do we have a spree of gifted memberships, baby, because the people are realizing that the membership raffle is just 1 week away. Our September membership raffle, as you see on the ticker down below, is just 1 week away, guys. So get your $2 super, get your super chats, get your memberships in. Every $2 super chat or gifted membership gives you an entry. Our guy John is in the raffle for one. He gets
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Damn straight, Rick. Shout out to you, John. Your membership went to Adrianos Blocks. Shout out to you, John. Thank you so much. That's another entry for you right here on the show. You are the best, my friend. Our guy Eli drops a 5-pack of gifted memberships. You are the best. Eli, shout out to you, my friend.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
Shout out to you, Eli. We appreciate the support. As always, those 6 memberships of total that were gifted went to, we did the John one, the 5 that went to, went out courtesy of Eli, M123, I123, NY Atlanta, John D. Lee, Danette Randall, Bob Bianchi, all receiving channel memberships. Thanks to our guy, Eli. Eli, that's 5 entries for you, John. That's 1. Thank you all, guys. Keep the super chats, keep the memberships flowing. They really go a long way. If you can't, it's all good. Smashing the like button, hitting subscribe is the free way to support our guy. Barney Miller wants a raffle entry. He gets in on a $2 super chat. Shout out to you, Barney.
My very own bed in an indoor toilet. A barber shop haircut that costs $25.
Barney Miller, you're the best, my friends. AR's a better passer. Jeff's a better teammate. They get you in the raffle, my friend. Fields a better teammate, sure. Yes, I mean, it was clear yesterday Rodgers still had the arm strength. He still has the ability as a passer. Look, he's immobile. He's getting up there in age. He's not the same Aaron Rodgers as he once was 12, 13 years ago. He has the arm. He has the big playability. But once he's pushed out of the pocket, once he's under distress, as we saw firsthand yesterday, it is a different Aaron Rodgers. He's a better passer. I think Fields a better quarterback right now. Call me crazy. Look, you can make the case if it's one game, who do you want starting for you, Rodgers or Fields? But for a whole season, I'm taking Justin Fields over Aaron Rodgers. Taking Justin Fields over Aaron Rodgers. Let's see what's up to everyone in the chat, guys. Keep the questions, your comments, your thoughts flowing in the chat. We are going to tether through those. Bill, what's up, my friend? Good to see you. Kyle in the chat. Kyle, what's up? Franklin Funk says, let's go, Connor. Love the intro. Shout out to you, Franklin. We appreciate the support. Italian Eddie Ralph, what's up, my friend? Good to see you in the building. Nathan says, you could say that there were many silver linings yesterday, but the negative way to look at it is that we played so well with our QB having his best game ever, played a mediocre team and still lost. I don't know if it's fair to classify them as a mediocre team when they've made the playoffs. I think for about 19 years in a row is the current active streak in Pittsburgh. I don't think it's fair to call them a mediocre team when they have the best front four in the league. I don't think it's fair to call them a mediocre team when Darius Slay is in your secondary. I don't think it's fair to call them a mediocre team when you have DK Metcalf as your wide receiver 1 and the best 1-2 punch at the tight end position in the league. I don't think that's a fair representation of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Jets played Pittsburgh as tight and as close as they could have yesterday from an offensive aspect. Indy Jets in the building. Shout out to you. Indy says, hit that like. Good to see you, my friend. Shout out to you. Eli, who gifted 5 memberships earlier. Thank you for joining us. Eli says, Connor, I got a question. Is the defense going to be playing like this every single week? Oh, my God. The defensive concerns are underway. It's a fair question, and obviously I know fans are concerned based on what they saw yesterday from the defense. Rightfully so. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. All the issues in the secondary were on Brandon Stephens yesterday. And, Glenn went up to bat for him. When speaking to reporters today, he went up to bat for him, defended him, spoke about his summer. He did have a strong summer, but as Glenn said in his post-game presser yesterday, verbatim, quote unquote, if you are going to cost us to lose games, you will not play. And if Brandon Stephens continues his performance like we saw yesterday, firsthand, I have the stats I'm pulling up from my article. So where were his numbers yesterday? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. It was a really, really, really rough game for Stephens. Last game, sorry, my Wi-Fi is going crazy, of course. Right here on the show. Here it is. I was in the wrong article that I wrote. These were Stephens' stat line. This was Stephens' stat line yesterday. Allowed 5 catches for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Flagged for PI. Gave up an abysmal 136.9 passer rating when targeted. Also keep this in mind. He also dropped the interception right in his hands. That would have been a game changer for this team. So Jets have a 3rd-round rookie in A.Z. Thomas. We could see him on the field potentially sooner rather than later. To kind of give a quick answer to your question, I don't think so, because as Glenn said, if you're going to cost this team to lose games, you will not be on the field. You will not be playing. It's as simple as that. It really is. So The defensive line was playing great. I mean, we had concerns about the defensive line. They were humming yesterday up front. So that's the positive. Also, not to mention, it's Steve Wilkes' scheme, especially for the guys who were here last year, was a lot of man coverage. The Jets are prioritizing press coverage, playing up on guys. So there's also that component, that facet of it as well. Barney says, hot take, in an alternate universe, the Jets win and ESPN just talks about how washed Rodgers is and that the Steelers suck. Hope that's the case. I said it on my post-game show yesterday. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Rodgers played well yesterday. Like, you guys know I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers guy. I call it how I see it, though. He played a pretty good brand of football yesterday. He played a pretty solid game, but he was not 4-touchdown good. Like, that stat line, for someone who just looked at the stat line, if you just looked at the stat line from yesterday, you think Aaron Rodgers was had some unworldly performance and lit up the Jets. He had a good game, sure. Nothing that the Jets couldn't stop. I mean, Stevens, it was just looking Stevens' direction. Where is Brandon Stevens on the field? Tether it right to that receiver. So that's exactly what it was. Eli says Willie Mack with 2 sacks. That got me fired up. Dude, Will McDonald, that spin move is just so freaking explosive. So explosive. We've seen it a couple years in a row now, so good to see Will McDonald getting out there, getting after the quarterback. Jermaine played a lot more than expected. He had a great play, a couple nice plays in the backfield. The thing is, behind them, Tyler Barron was on the field. Brandon McGregor was a healthy scratch, so was Leonard Taylor III. But, I mean, you're looking at Michael Clemens and Tyler Barron as your 2 starters once you rip through Jermaine and McDonald. So that's the biggest issue. No one had any questions about Jermaine. There were questions about how Jermaine would recover, and obviously those questions still prevail. And it's a fair question to ask as a fan. There were never any questions about Will McDonald's ability after last year. It was about the depth. So the front guys, when you talk about the edge rushers here on the Jets, they're solid, but once you get past them, you're really, really testing your luck and seeing what you have. Indy says, Connor, thoughts on our book and tackles, baby? You see the way Armand Mambu was just standing up TJ Watt yesterday, the way that Olu Fashanu, there's so many great blocks that he had, just his ability to set the edge, get out there and run blocking. They all stood strong in pass protection. I also like rostering a fullback in the NFL was so gritty and such a smart decision by Glenn. We saw Andrew Beck with so many key blocks down in the red zone yesterday. I was really, really, really pleased with what I saw from the tackles, the line, and the blocking truly as a whole. So shout out to everyone who was blocking yesterday for the Jets. Nathan says, I don't think Stevens was the only problem in the secondary. Sauce was great, but Carter was terrible in the first half, and Tony Adams was terrible. Cisco was fine, but not great. Adams is another guy who's talking about the cornerbacks there. Yeah, Adams, but again, what else did we learn about Tony Adams that we didn't already know? We know he can't tackle in space. We know that he shouldn't be starting on this team. Malachi Moore should be starting, point blanks. We didn't learn anything new on the negative front in the Jets secondary, if that makes sense. We knew Stevens can't turn his head around. We know Tony Adams can't tackle. Plain and simple. Cisco wasn't a liability. He didn't catch my eye for really any of the wrong reasons. MC2 wasn't great in coverage, but coming downhill, he was nice from a run defense standpoint. So they excelled and didn't look too great in different areas. So that's the way I'll evaluate their performance. But Brandon Stevens was the main culprit from yesterday's disaster. In the secondary, we appreciate you all joining us right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Smash the like button, hit subscribe. I'm your host, Connor Long, right here with you guys on this beautiful Monday evening. We're actually talking about real football here on the show that was being played. That was being played yesterday. Yes, football, regular season football was being played yesterday. A loss for the Jets, but a lot of silver linings, a moral victory, as much as us Jet fans hate that word. We're going to wrap up here soon, so get your final questions, comments, thoughts in the chat. Shout out to all you guys again. We're going to have the call-in link back up and running for next show. We appreciate it all. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to you. You're the best. Back. Come here. 8 o'clock. Same spot. Same place right here on NY Flight Jets Talk. Right here on the Connor Long YouTube channel. Stay tuned on the feed. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support. As always, shout out to you guys. We appreciate the support. We'll end with this from Barney before we wrap. Says part of the issue with the secondary scheme and communication, guys were wide open. Or was that all Rodgers? Rodgers didn't have to make any tight window throws yesterday, Barney. He wasn't really shredding apart the secondary. A lot of it was communication. A lot of it was scheme. Keep in mind, like I mentioned earlier, the Jets have relied a lot more on press under Steve Wilkes. We saw it in the preseason. We saw it yesterday. It's a complete different change from what we saw under Robert Saleh. A lot of man, a lot of laid back, send the corners high and deep. So it's going to be a change from that standpoint as well. So that could take a couple weeks. Absolutely. Nevertheless, shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. We appreciate the support as always. Thank you so much. Back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. EST. Same spot, same place. We'll see you soon. But in the meantime, I'm your host, Connor Long, right here on NY Flight Jets Talk, saying have a great night, everyone. And as always, JTS, baby. Jets, Jets, Jets. Peace out, folks.